knees bent. And then just have your knees rest on each other. Let them kind of knock in. It's a really relaxing place for the psoas to live. And then you can place your hands on the body somewhere. Maybe a hand over the belly and over the heart. And just start by feeling your breath. So allowing your breath to feel a little more tangible. I mean, it's a really nice way to start a practice. Sort of a somatic experiencing exercise, bringing us into a place where we can feel our body while we feel the floor, while we feel our breath. And the sense of actually arriving here, right? So we tend to show up physically before we arrive mentally. So give your mind and your energy a chance to just catch up with your body and settle. Bring your attention to your feet. Can you feel the entire surface of each foot gently pressing against the ground? The surface of each toe. And feel the back of the pelvis. Wide, grounded, heavy. And especially in this position, can you even start to feel a heaviness in the thigh bones as they sink further into the hip sockets? Then we'll begin to lengthen out our exhales. So you're welcome to keep your hands on the body to feel the breath, or if you would like to open your chest and rib cage a little bit more, you can open the arms up into a cactus shape as well. So the way it will work is we'll breathe in for 4 and we'll breathe out for 6. And at the bottom of the exhale, we'll actually work on some suspension of the breath. So holding the exhale out so we really feel the sense of emptiness. We don't exhale enough typically. So this is more of a focus on the exhale, a clearing, a releasing and eliminating. We call this Apanavayu. This is one of the winds, the directions of the breath, the outward and downward moving force of our energy. So let's do a clearing breath before we begin. Take a deep breath in through the nose, fill your belly, and then open your mouth, exhale, let the breath drop. Seal the lips. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. So do a few more rounds of breath like this. See if you can find some ease and softness, even in the moment where you pause and get empty. take 3 more rounds here. And after that third exhale, go ahead and release the counting from your mind. Reach your arms up overhead and straighten your legs. And take a full body stretch. Stretch the belly. So even as we release the counting and we move through the practice, can you still try to create that fullness and completeness in your exhalation? And then hug your right knee in towards your chest and just let your left leg stay relaxed for now. Just let this feel like a nice stretch and pull that knee up towards the shoulder, up towards the armpit even. Squeezing it in, creating a little bit of compression in that right hip. A little more opening the back of the right pelvis. Give it one more squeeze. And then release. Take that leg long. Pull the left knee in, give it a squeeze. You can squeeze around the shin, or if that feels like too much on the knee, you can take the hands behind the knee. And again, taking it slightly further to the side so you can pull it up towards the shoulder or armpit more rather than the chest. And squeeze it up, one more breath in. And exhale, release. Separate the feet a little wider than hips distance apart and just turn the toes in and out. Feel that rotation all the way up in the thigh bones. In and out, legs straight. Good. Okay, now bring the feet so they're about hips distance apart. Flex both toes as if you were in like Supta Tadasana or laying down mountain pose. Now pull the right knee back into the chest, this time reaching on the inside of the knee. And you'll grab the outside of your foot. If you can't reach the foot, you can grab the ankle or the shin as well for Ardha Happy Baby. So half Happy Baby. And then think about your bottom leg. Let's lift the left leg off the ground just a couple inches. Roll your inner thigh down. And then try to suck that left thigh bone up into your hip socket a little bit deeper. Then lower it down, press the heel, especially the inner heel, and try to ground the back of your left thigh. Keep pulling on your right foot and sort of play with that balance of getting the left side down while you open the right side more. And focus on that exhale. At the bottom of the exhale, can you feel that extra little pull of your navel in, almost like you're squeezing out that last little bit of breath. Take 3 more breaths here. And gently release. Take the right leg long. Both feet flexed. Now pull the left knee in. Reach on the inside of the knee, grab the shin and ankle, maybe the pinky toe side of the foot, half Happy Baby. So pulling down on that foot, so the sole of the foot is facing the ceiling. And then lift the right leg a couple inches, roll the inner thigh down, suck that thigh bone up into the hip socket. Feel it go deeper. And then set it down, press your heel. See if you can ground the right hamstring a little closer to the floor and keep that leg straight. So when we do that little extra work on this straight leg, it prevents us from just rolling all the way over onto the left side and helps the back of the pelvis feel a little more grounded and balanced, even as we open the left side. And then remember that extra little squeeze at the bottom of the exhale. Kind of like when you get to the bottom of your toothpaste, right? You have to really roll it up to get that extra little bit out. Squeeze. 3 more rounds here. And gently release, both legs straight, flex the feet. Keep the legs active as you reach the arms up overhead. Take a full body stretch. Try to pull your bottom ribs down and in, as if you were trying to spread and press the back of the ribs into the mat more. So the arms might actually float off the ground because of this. But imagine you were holding a block between your hands. Squeeze that imaginary block. Keep flexing the feet. Keep pulling those bottom ribs down and in. Take 3 more breaths here. Squeezing out the last little bit of that exhale. 1 more round. Good, and then bring both knees in towards the chest. Reach up for a full happy baby, grabbing the pinky toe sides of your feet. This time you can rock a little side to side. And then guide the knees all the way together. Place the hands over the knees, and then you'll guide them around in little circles. So just massaging out the sacrum and lower back. Go the other direction. And then start to rock yourself forward and back. You can do that 3 or 4 times, and eventually rock yourself all the way up to a tabletop position. So when you first come to your hands and knees, find a few rounds of cat-cow. So bring your shins parallel to each other, stack your hands under your shoulders. When you inhale, stretch the belly down, and when you exhale, round. Just make it easy for these first few rounds. And starting to awaken the spine, our main energy channel in the body. Lots going on there. One more round like normal. And then the next time you inhale, just come to a neutral spine and pause. So the way we'll do this now is, again, focusing on the exhale and getting empty. What you'll do is you'll inhale a slow, smooth breath in through the nose as you drop the belly, look forward. And then you'll exhale fast out the mouth, and you'll hold the exhale out. And then inhale slow and smooth through the nose, drop the belly, look forward. Exhale, round, hold the breath out. Inhale, slow and smooth. Exhale. Push the breath out, hold. So go at your own pace. Do a few more rounds here. You decide how long the suspension of the breath out is. It could be just a quick moment, maybe a few seconds. So when you exhale, feel the lift of your navel. Feel maybe even the lifts of your pelvic floor. Good, 3 more rounds. Really push the exhale out. Feel how you get empty. Nice. 1 more round. Nice. Okay, inhale, slow, smooth, stretch the belly down, lift the chest. Exhale, normal breath, press and round. Inhale, belly down, 1 more time. Exhale, slow and smooth, round the spine. And then inhale to neutral. You just pause here, take a breath. Good, now start to lift your navel just slightly, so not all the way into the cat pose, but you're actively lifting the navel up. Now tuck the toes under, and then lift your knees just 2 inches off the ground. So just hovering in your tabletop. Feel the navel pulling up and in, even as the knees stay low. Keep pushing into the hands. You can even feel how when you push your hands down, you could try to imagine pulling your hands towards each other, light up the chest. Take 3 more breaths here. Keep lifting your navel. And then slowly send your hips up and back, downward facing. So for this first down dog, you can let it be a little shorter, maybe even a little wider. Take your feet out wider. And then pedal out your feet.
Start to find stillness in your downward dog. Take 3 full breaths here, focusing on releasing the exhale completely, squeezing out that last bit of air. Next inhale, look forward to your hands. Take a walk to the top of your mat. So the feet are about hips distance apart. Grab opposite elbows and just hang over the legs. So a little bend in your knees here to start and gently pull down on your elbows. You can really feel that stretch across your upper back. Consider shaking out your head if the neck is feeling tight. And then switch the cross of your arms. Again, little pull on the elbows. Drop the top of your head towards the ground as if it was getting 5 pounds heavier. And then exhale, release your arms. Slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing. So as you arrive at the top, find your Tadasana mountain pose. Take the shoulders up, back and down. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Squeeze that imaginary block again. And then notice when you lift the arms, if you also take the rib cage out and up, can you soften the bottom of the ribs down and in? Can you bring the bottom sternum down? But keep lifting through the arms. Good. Take one more breath to reach up. And then as you exhale, forward fold, come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, let go. Step your right foot to the back of your mat, so left foot is forward. Lower the right knee to the ground. Inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, cactus the arms open. Just take a little stretch for the chest. And then inhale to reach up. Exhale to open. Inhale up. Exhale, open. This time, inhale to reach up. And then exhale, plant your hands. Step back, downward facing dog. Take the right leg up and back. So as you exhale, same exhale, knee to nose, fold it up. Slow and smooth. Inhale, send it back. Exhale, hold it up. Inhale, take it back. One more like that. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, slow and smooth, take it back. And then slowly exhale, bring the knee towards the chest and step it through between your hands. Lower the left knee to the ground. Inhale, reach up. Open the arms, pull the elbows apart. Inhale, reach up. So feel the squeeze on your shoulder blades. Open the arms. One more time, reach up. Again, squeeze the shoulder blades, spread the elbows. Inhale up. Exhale, plant your hands. Step forward, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, drop your head. This time, press down into your feet. Come right into Urdhva Hastasana. Reach up through the arms, come to standing. Even as the arms reach up overhead, can you pull the bottom ribs down and in? And then pull your hands to your heart. And inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left foot back. Lower the left knee to the ground. This time, shift your hips back. So you'll go back and forth a few times here, from the lunge to the Ardha Hanumanasana or half splits pose. And you'll probably want your blocks. Well, you will want your blocks eventually, so might as well grab them now. So just shift in and out of this a few times. Now, the next time that the right leg straightens, flex through the foot, and then just rock your hips from right to left, side to side. And then as the hips come back to center, just rock the toes in and out. And then as you come back to center, pull all 5 toes back towards the face. So we'll do kind of a little cat-cow action here. Same cat-cow that we did before, but now obviously the leg is forward, so it'll feel a little different.
When you inhale, through the nose, stretch the belly down, push up your blocks, lift your chest. And then exhale, hold the breath out. And then inhale, drop the belly, look forward. Exhale, hold it up. One more time like that. Inhale into the stretch. Hold here for a few breaths. Pull the toes back, even the pinky toe. So think about being in kind of like that cow shape where you're pulling your sit bones back even slightly up. And rather than rounding forward, you're actually trying to lift your chest like you were trying to bring the center of the chest towards your right big toe. Yeah, and then pull the right pinky toe back a little bit more. It's amazing how much of a difference that makes. Okay, so now you'll push into the blocks. You'll exhale, do the rounding action, pull the navel up and in, and then try to float your right heel. And then lower down, inhale, drop the belly, look forward. Exhale, round, lift the navel, try to float the right heel. It might not actually lift, that's okay. And let it down one more time, inhale. Exhale, empty the belly, lift the navel, try floating the right heel. And release. Bend the knee back to your lunge. Set your blocks to the side. And then send your right leg back, downward facing. Inhale, lift the left leg up and back. Exhale out the mouth, knee to nose. Inhale, slow and smooth. Exhale, hold it up. Inhale, slow and smooth. Exhale. Inhale, take it back. And then very slowly exhale and step it through. Right knee to the ground, pat it if you need to. You can bring your blocks in. So we'll just start by shifting between the lunge and the hamstring stretch, bending and straightening the left knee. A couple more times to shift in and out. The next time that you shift back, straighten the left leg. So again, use the blocks if you need them. And then slide your hips over to the right and to the left. Go back and forth a few times here. And then back to center with the hips, toes in and out. Feel that rotation all the way up in the thigh bone. And then as you come back to center, flex the toes back towards the face. Try to pull that left sit bone up and back. Really get a good stretch there along the whole back side of the left leg. And then we'll do our little cat-cows here. So inhale, stretch the belly down, look forward. And then exhale, hold the breath out. Inhale, slow and smooth, drop the belly, look forward. Exhale, lift the navel, hold it out. So do a couple more like that. The next time that you inhale, go ahead and stay here in the stretch for a few extra breaths. Again, try to lift your left sit bone up and back even more. So rather than rounding, you're opening and lifting your chest. Keep trying to stretch that left sit bone back further and further and further. It almost feels like you're trying to pull your left heel back with it. And then again, left pinky toe. Pull it back towards the face. Now you'll take an inhale, and then as you exhale, you'll round your spine, lift your navel, and try to float your left leg. As you hold the breath out, release the heel down, inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, press, round. When you get empty,
Hold that leg up if you can. Release it down one more time. And then set the blocks to the side, crawl your way back into the lunge, and then step forward, top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale and fold. So Padahastasana, you can either slide your hands underneath your feet, palms face up, or if that is unreachable, blocks by your side, and then you'll place the palms face, or the hands palms up onto the blocks. So try to release your head. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And if you do have your hands under your feet, as you push the toes into your hands, can you also imagine pulling up with your arms? Let your head drop. Every exhale, let your head drop more. Notice the quality of your exhale. Take 3 more rounds, exhale completely. And then gently step off of the hands. Use your next inhalation to come into a halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold. Slowly roll yourself all the way up to standing. And then inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Take the arms up even as those front bottom ribs stay down. And then exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Come all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. You guys want the air on? I'm going to turn on for just a little bit. Okay, and then step your left foot back. Walk your right foot out to the right side of your mat, so both hands will be on the inside of the right foot. So you have a couple options here. If you need more height under the left hand, you just want more space, put the block under it. You can also put the left knee on the ground, or you can keep it lifted. So right hand up to the back of your head. Now as you inhale, push the left hand down, lift the right elbow up towards the sky. Turn your chest. And then as you exhale, you'll turn your chest to the ground. Try to dip your elbow down as low as you can, and then push off your left hand. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, turn the chest down, dip the elbow, go as low as you can, hold the breath out at the bottom. And then inhale, push off the left hand, let that initiate the opening in the chest. And then turn, condense, squeeze the breath out. So keep going like this. Really use that exhale to get empty, to condense, to get smaller, to squeeze it out, to hold it out. One more time, open. Exhale, go as low as you can, hold the breath out, and then release your right hand to the mat. So you can come down to the hands, forearms, maybe forearms to blocks on the inside of the right foot, runner's lunge. You're welcome to release the left knee to the ground at this point, and you can put a blanket under it. So yeah, right leg still forward. Feel free to play with the angle of the right foot. If you want to turn the right toes out to the side, you can let the knee follow. If you want to keep the toes forward, keep the knee forward. We'll be here for several breaths, so if there's another variation you'd like to take, like reaching back with that foot is also a nice option. Notice the quality of the exhale. Keep emptying out completely. When our Apana Vayu is strong, we feel more grounded.
One more breath here. Walk yourself up onto your hands. Take that right leg all the way up and back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog, but lift it high, three-legged dog. Bend the knee, let your hip open. So same leg, right leg. And then just circle it out, move that hip around. I like to imagine I have a paintbrush on the tip of my knee and I'm trying to draw the biggest possible circles in the sky. Make sure you go both directions if you're doing circles. Nice. And then go ahead and give that leg a little shake on the way down. Shake it off. Okay, both feet on the earth. Look forward to your hands. Take a walk to the top of your mat. So second round, Padahastasana, sliding the hands onto the feet or backs of the hands resting on the blocks, palms facing up. You can bend the knees to get into the pose and then maybe try straightening the legs a little more. And see if it's possible. So if you are working towards straighter legs in your fold, can you try to straighten the legs by lifting your buttock bones higher rather than pressing your knees back? And try to maintain the engagement of your quads, especially as the legs go straighter and straighter. Drop your head. Three more breaths here. Full, complete exhale. Release your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, drop your head. This time press down into the feet, sweep the arms forward and up, reach all the way up overhead. Exhale, pull your hands to heart center. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift again. Then you'll step your right foot to the back of your mat. Walk your left foot over so it's to the outer edge of your mat, both hands on the inside. Plant your right hand. Option to keep the right knee lifted or take it to the ground. As you walk the left hand up to the back of your head, push down into the right hand. Let that initiate this opening as you turn your chest. And then exhale, keep exhaling. Drop the elbow, hold the exhale out, get empty. Inhale, slowly lift. Exhale, turn, get empty. Inhale to lift. So find your pace here. Find your depth. See if you can also find that little pause at the bottom of your exhale. Good, last three. Good, keep that left heel grounded, keep your left big toe grounded. One more time, open up. And then turn your chest down, hold the breath out, get low. Release that hand to the ground. Release your back knee. You can stay up on the hands, you can go to forearms. You can find another variation that feels nourishing to you. And just check in with the left toes. So left toes and left knee will face the same way, just so there's some congruency there. Forward or slightly out to the side. So let yourself be with the depth and possibly the intensity of this stretch. So our Apanavayu, or this outward, downward moving force of the breath, it also helps with elimination, and not just of like toxins of digestive focus, but also helping us to clear out negative or unfavorable thoughts, memories, decluttering the mind, evacuating the mind, similarly to how it evacuates the body. But it's a lot of energy. A lot of movement. So finding some moments to slow down is really helpful. Take one more breath here. And just going out slowly. We always need to transition slow out of these hip stretches. Go up and back, 3-legged dog, and then go ahead and take that left leg out, bend the knee. Put the paintbrush on this kneecap and guide it around in big circles as you paint in the sky. Go the other direction with your circles. And then bring that foot down. Find child's pose, bringing the big toes to touch, knees wide, Adho Virasana. If the forehead does not come down to the ground, you can place a block underneath it. Let yourself just settle for a moment, let your hips settle. You can even push into your hands a little more to try to settle your hips further back towards your heels. We will do one more heat building thing, so allowing yourself to rest for a few more breaths in this softer pose. And just know that child's pose is available for you. So you're welcome to come back to this at any point in the next little section of class. Take 3 more breaths here, focusing on emptying out completely as you exhale. One more breath here, deep inhale. And just open your mouth, exhale, drop the breath out. And make your way to downward facing dog. Turn your heels in towards each other and your toes away from each other. We'll do some little squats here. So starting to bend your knees. Try to get your knees as low as you can as you squat down into the hips, and then press your legs back to straight. So the upper body doesn't really change, just bending the knees out wide and then pressing back up. So maybe your knees even get close to the floor, maybe even hover before you press them back. And a few more rounds. Nice, last 3. Good, so you should start to feel this in the legs, heels in, toes out, so that when you bend, the knees go out to the side. It's almost like you're going towards a child's pose shape. Last one, hold at the bottom. Take a big breath out, hold the breath out, and then inhale, straighten the legs. 2 more like that, bend the knees, get really low, exhale, 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 hold the exhale out, hold the pose at the bottom. Inhale, straighten the legs, lift the hips. 1 more like that, bend the knees, get low. Exhale, get empty, hold the breath out. And straighten the legs. Good, walk your hands back towards your feet. So separate your feet a little wider, but keep your toes turned slightly out. So it's like, kind of like just a 30-degree angle maybe. Coming into Malasana, setting your hips down. Bringing the arms on the inside of the knees. So if squatting all the way down doesn't work for you, you can be here. In a higher position, just gotta work the legs a little higher. So try to bring the feet a little closer if you're going into a squat. And then notice if you're really trying to crank your feet to the side, traditionally that's not even the pose. For some reason, that's people think the wider the feet, the better. So traditionally, Malasana is feet together. So just knowing that, starting to bring your feet a little closer and actually start to turn your toes in slightly. So of course there's a little bit of external rotation, but just knowing that, don't worry about turning your toes all the way out. Yeah, good. It's a little more compact, so you gotta work a little harder to get your chest lifted. Okay, and then we'll do a little bit of a pelvic floor exercise. So some Mula Bandha here. So think about your pelvic floor sitting right down here, being like a little bit of an elevator lifting you up. So when you inhale, you'll just lift up a couple inches. And then exhale back to your squat. Inhale a couple inches. Exhale back down. So just see what it feels like. Okay, good. Now you'll inhale to lift. Exhale, get empty and hold. And then release, come down. Take an extra breath. Just one more like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, get empty. Try to lift your navel, hold. And release. So you have options here. You can hang out in your squat. You can go back to child's pose and chill. Or you could try Bakasana. So we've set ourselves up really well for this pose today. Open the hips and also working on that lift from the lower belly, which helps you actually get into this pose rather than just leaning your weight forward. So rather than thinking of leaning your weight forward and down to come into the pose, think of lifting your weight up and back. So thinking of it more energetically than physically. So you plant your hands, lift the knees up to the backs of your arms, and then just lean forward, keep looking forward, and then you do that work. Lift the navel. Try to lift the pelvic floor. See if you can float the feet. Keep looking forward. You can do 1 foot at a time. You can do both feet. But when you're in the pose, if you do go into it, think about your exhale and exhale completely. And then try to hold the exhale out. And does that help you lift into the pose? Keep looking forward, look forward, look forward. There you go. If you look down, you might go down. Good. And then to advance the pose, think about instead of lifting your butt higher, try to lower your butt. Think about the middle of your back being the highest point of the pose rather than the butt. So you create that hollowing action of the belly. That's the biggest action in this pose. So it's an open chest, but also a little bit of that rounding. Yeah, the lower the butt goes, the better. When you're done, you're done. You can rest in child's pose or in a seat. Nice. It's amazing when we work with the breath and energy a little bit more, how exhausting the practice can feel because we're bringing more into it. We're actually going deeper than just the physical part. So we are working harder. So if it feels like you're working harder, it's because you're using different layers, different koshas of who you are to actually incorporate into the practice. Let's come on to our backs. You've earned it. Have a block nearby. We'll do a supported Setu Bandhasana, supported bridge pose. Block has 3 heights, so you can decide low, medium, or high height. Place it under the sacrum, bend the knees. Lift your hips up just enough to slide the block under. And just make sure that that block is actually under the back of the pelvis and not just up on the lower back. So it's kind of actually more like the upper buttock area. Should feel really supportive. So you won't feel like your butt is kind of pouring over the block, rather being held up and supported by it. So you find the placement that feels good to you. And then arms by your sides. Kind of tuck your shoulder blades under you a little bit more so the chest still feels open, even though you can just relax the arms. And then can we think back to the first pose that we did, constructive rest position, where we thought about our feet. You feel your feet on the ground. Can you feel each toe? Can you feel the back of your pelvis on your block? Can you even feel a sense of your thigh bones sliding a little bit further into your hip sockets? And then can we just, most of us, play with the placement of your block. So really think to yourself, where is this block and what is it supporting? And does it feel like there's a lot of weight still in the legs or going over the side of the block? Could you move the block a little bit away from your shoulders And just see, just play with it. Does that feel more supportive? So moving it a little more towards your feet. And wherever you are, take 3 more breaths here. So if you're anywhere else but the lowest height of the block, you can move the block down so it's low and wide across the sacrum, and then take the feet up towards the sky. You're welcome to roll out your ankles here, or flex and point through the feet. And then just let the feet rest over the hips. Take 3 more breaths here. Exhale completely as you melt your feet down to the ground. Lift your hips up a little bit, slide the block to the side. And then just gently windshield wiper the knees side to side. Keep your feet a little wider, that feels better. So you can either just drop the knees to one side and stay for several breaths, or if you want to wrap the legs up in another way for a final gentle supine twist. Staying on one side for a few breaths. Slowly shift your way to the other side. And just notice how the energy is slowing down, becoming more easeful. When we use the breath more intentionally or even vigorously, we also tend to stir up a lot of our energy. Benefit of that is that when we start to cool down, the energy can resettle, we recalibrate, but things will settle in a different way. Things will shift or release as needed. Which is also why we typically feel differently after yoga practice. And gently return to center when you feel complete with your twist. Final pose, hug the knees to the chest. You can also find a final happy baby if you'd like. Feel into those open hips. And any last shape or movement that will complete your practice for you, feel free to take it. If you just want an extra minute or two in Shavasana, you can also go straight there. There's plenty of wall space today, so you could go do legs up the wall as well. start to settle in, take any final little adjustments that you might need to make so that stillness makes sense in your body. And then, I don't know if you've ever been scuba diving before, but fun fact about scuba diving is when you breathe underwater and you take a deep breath in, it actually allows you to float. You become more buoyant. And then when you exhale, you start to sink. You condense. You get heavier. So can we just think about that here? When you exhale, think of this idea of dropping further, becoming heavier, sinking. The condensation of our energy, that inward moving force. Like we saturate ourselves with this energy as we take it in, and then we exhale. And as we let it go, we release more. Take a deep breath in. Big exhale. Open your mouth. Let it all go. Final surrender. Shavasana. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Begin to add small movements back into your fingers, back into your toes. When you feel ready, reach your arms up overhead. Take a full body stretch. Bend your knees, gently roll to your right side. And then press yourself up to a seat. Staying inward for a final moment here. As you arrive in your seat, just notice the effect of this practice. The effect on your body, on your energy, on your mind. And then gather your palms together in front of heart center. We'll seal this practice with the sound of Om. Starting with a cleansing breath, inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth, let it go. Inhale for 1 Om. Release your chin to your chest, bowing in gratitude for your body, for your breath, and for this moment of peace. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. And release your hands as you lift your chin gently, blink your eyes open, take the light back in. Thank you all so much for being here today, for practicing with me. My name's Amanda. If you have any questions or anything, let me know. And I hope to see you all very soon. Thank you. You're welcome. How are we feeling? Good challenge?
I was like, oh, that isn't going to be a nice, relaxing class.
It's noon.